The number one people who I believe is the biggest threat to the Jewish community today is missionaries. And the worst thing is how these missionaries go about their business. Usually it was very difficult to convert Jews, but nowadays it's become easier thanks to Jews for Jesus. What they do is they put a wrapper on Mr. J, Jesus, and they make it look all Jewish, and they give this wrapper to any Jew they find, and as soon as they open it up, they lie to Jews, making them think it's the most Jewish idea to think to believe in Jesus. But in actuality, what they're doing is they're leading Jews astray, and they're disconnecting them with Hashem, because they're trying to get them to believe in some guy that died a long time ago. And they are trying to make them believe that there's a second coming, trying to make them believe in the New Testament. But that's funny though, because they don't really call it the New Testament. Jews don't want to hear the New Testament. So what they do is they changed it, and they say Chadosh Brit, the New Covenant. Makes it sound nice. And they don't celebrate Christian holidays. They celebrate Jewish holidays. Shavuot, Hanukkah. They celebrate so many things that are so Jewish to try to get people to, become Christians. And what these people are doing is they are taking Jews away, killing their souls, trying to destroy them by disconnecting them with Hashem. And in doing so, what they do is they cause a spiritual genocide to Jews. Now, this is why Yeshua isn't the Mashiach. Not only because he didn't complete any of the stuff that people say he didn't complete any prophecies. And the thing about him being from a young mother isn't even true, because the actual prophecy that it should become from a young woman, if you actually read the actual Hebrew. But this is what it says, okay? This is one of the biggest reasons, and this is a historical figure back from the Holy Talmud. Yeshu was the son of a Jewish mother named Miriam, who was betrothed to a carpenter. With betrothed means legally married, but she was not living with him or having sexual relations with him. The story says that Miriam was either raped or voluntarily slept with Pandira, a Roman soldier. Miriam then gave birth to Jesus, who was considered a mamzer, which means a bastard, a product of an adulterous relationship. And the Talmud describes Yeshu as a heretic who dabbled in sorcery and led people astray. The Sanhedrin ordered Yeshu stoned to death, and his body was hung from a tree until the nightfall. After his death, in accordance with an ancient Jewish Bible, says about his fate of being nailed on a cross. But this is why no Jews believe in Jesus, even in Jesus being a nice guy. So right away, that's historical documentation given from the Gemara that clearly states that Yeshua wasn't even a product of a nice marriage at all. I don't understand how someone could honestly go and pretend to even know Hebrew and actually not knowing it. Now, like for example, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokim Hashem Echad. They'll say, oh, you see what you just said? You said Echad. What Echad means is two things coming together and being one, which is the Trinity. But no, that's not the case. It's actually completely different. You tell anyone what echad means, a preschooler that knows absolutely nothing, they'll tell you it's one. Echad, stain, shalosh, arba, chamesh, shesh, sheva, shmona, tesha, eser. Echad just means one. Doesn't mean the accumulation of one. It could mean that sometimes if you say, okay, there's a chair and the table, that's one set. But if you look at the Shema, here is the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. It's not saying multiple things are one. It's just saying that God is one. So it's taking it out of context. These people go around claiming to know Hebrew and they don't. They also say, if you look at the way of Hashem's name, Elohim, you realize there's a Yud and a Mem at the end. And because there's a Yud and a Mem at the end, it's obviously a plural, therefore signifying the Trinity. But if you actually look at it in context, in any prayer, it's not relating to several things together, it's only relating to one thing. And that's Hashem. There's also another thing that they like to do all the time, is they like to bring up Isaiah 53, where it says that he would be crucified and it would go through his nails. They would put nails through his hands and feet, but that's not true either. They didn't. If you actually read the actual Hebrew text, it doesn't say pierced my hands and feet. It said grabbed my hands and feet like a lion. So that's not even true. Even now, there's a huge atheist movement that's growing. Why? Because there's no spiritual basis at all in Christianity. Christianity is nothing more but a paganist idea. The belief in a Trinity is not just a Christian idea. It was also a Roman idea in the Roman religion. It's a similar idea in the Hindu religion. It's with many other paganist religions. It's nothing new to the paganist religion. That's why Jews don't believe in it. That's why we knew it's fake from the very beginning. And also, you guys believe that the Mashiach has already come, but frankly, the world still sucks. There's nothing cool about the world today. You don't see godliness everywhere. There's no third Beit HaMikdash. There's the majority of people don't adhere to the mitzvot. Everyone's completely lost. If you honestly believe this, then you have a lot of stuff to learn. I have a lot of stuff to learn also. But at least I know the emet. I know the truth. These Jews who are in J for J are nothing more but heretics. They are trying to create a spiritual genocide of people who they don't even understand or know. Even the majority of people who are in these Messianic synagogues, most of them aren't even Jewish. At least in the United States or in Canada. This is a disgrace. They have to be stopped. There's a huge Noahide movement growing, but for some reason there's also a huge J for J growing. That's messed up. Gentiles can find their way to Hashem, but Jews can't? They have to change. And it all starts in the home with Jewish education. Because once a missionary comes up to you and tells you, have you heard of J today? Mr. J? And they bring you stuff that you're not aware of. And most Jews aren't very well versed in the Bible, because many Jews are very secular. So they're not going to know what to say. They're going to want to, convert. And that has to change.